Former Gators defensive end Dante Fowler is vying to become the top defensive player taken in the NFL draft. And thankfully, a number of teams are in the market for his services. The fact that he can not only rush the passer, but he can also dip back into coverage, that versatility, well, that's huge for teams. And that's one of the ways in which he says he really stands out from a talented group of prospects.
Some linebackers are in some defenses that causes them to rush, and sometimes they're not good rushers. And I can do both. I can rush really good, and I can drop back in coverage pretty well. I try to, I don't want to think I'm a big guy. I like to think I'm a running back or a cornerback sometimes. So I like to go out there and mess with the receivers. I can play in the flats. I can play in the curl. I can play everywhere. Really, in Coach Muschamp's defense, it was a multiple. We played 3-4 and a 4-3. So my freshman year, I played a lot of defensive end. Sophomore year, I did a lot of both. And then my junior year, we played a lot of 3-4. So I was the buck, and I stood up and just running around and things like that. So I'm kind of all over the place. I can play from linebacker to DN, and then going in the trenches and playing 3 technique to nose guard. So I can do a lot for a team, and that causes a lot of outfits for for the offense, and really just stressing the offensive coordinators out and things like that.
Now, with such a diverse skill set, it's easy to see why he told me that DeMarcus Ware is the guy that he looked up to most growing up. The fact that Ware has also played in a 4-3 and also a 3-4 as a defensive end as well as an outside linebacker, but also to Aldon Smith and Von Miller. Those are 2 guys that he's looked up to as well. Now, because he has such a diverse skill set and because his abilities are coveted by virtually every team is hoping to improve their pass rush. He could go anywhere as high as number 2 to the Titans. I think he could also go to Jacksonville at number 3. That would be a really realistic fit. And then, of course, you go down the list. Number 8, Atlanta. That's his former coach, Dan Quinn. That's certainly a possibility there. So those are all teams to keep an eye out on. I didn't say the Bucs, though, and one of the reasons I said that, maybe I'm just being a little bit nitpicky, but I had asked him, because he grew up in St. Petersburg, if he rooted for the Bucs when he was growing up, and, well, you have to listen to what he had to say there.
You mentioned growing up in St. Pete. Did you grow up a Bucs fan?
I mean, they're my whole team, so I like the Bucs. I like the Bucs, but the Bucs are the Bucs, you know what I mean?
So yeah, it doesn't look like he's very interested in that, and plus I think that the Bucs are probably going to go quarterback if they don't trade down with that spot. You always have to keep all your options open, but again, keep an eye out for Jacksonville and also to Atlanta. I could see him going to both of those places. Keep checking back with Sports Talk Florida for a ton of pre-draft coverage. We will have you covered, not just with the Bucs, not just with the Jags, not just with the Dolphins, but really throughout. So you definitely don't want to miss it. With Sports Talk Florida, I'm Jenna Lane.